Hi, I'm Corbin Rose, and in this video I'm going to talk to you guys about my two new philodendrons. And I figured, as we have two philodendrons, we might as well have a Monstera. So I'm going to go through like the basic care tips of my plants, how I care for them, and we're also going to have a little repot of the small one. So these two philodendrons, this is Philodendron Squamiferum with these like beautiful fuzzy stems, and this one is Philodendron Goeldii, but it was actually recently reclassified. I'll put the name in the screen for you guys. And these were actually presents from a dear friend of mine. And this one, I think both of them are from Plantea orchids here in South Africa. And I was thinking today that we might have a little repot of this one, seeing that it has kind of become top heavy and is in danger of falling over. And then also at this side of the screen, I have my Monstera deliciosa, which is currently in my bedroom. So I wake up to beautiful Monstera leaves every day. But so, let's start with the repot. So I just put a little tray there, a pot there, and of course this is just like the soil I'm going to use, which is basically a garden potting soil that you get from the garden centre, mixed with some perlite to like give it some drainage, because philodendrons in general love to have drainage around their roots, because they don't have their roots to be too waterlogged. So just start with like a little bit in the bottom of the pot. Yeah, I'm actually in love with this one because of those like furry, fuzzy stems. It is like a tropical plant from the rainforest, so it does like high humidity. It loves indirect filtered light. Now we're gonna have to squeeze this to get it. There we go. And such a nice root ball. Just see, that's too high in the pot, so we kind of take some out. You always have to judge how high the plant is in the pot. I know you guys can't see me through all these leaves. It's like a little jungle in here today. Let's see now what we have here. Yeah, that's better. Oh, no, I changed my mind. Still too high. Sword everywhere. There we go, much better. This plant is probably going to need a better stake in future, like a moss pole or something, because I've seen pictures of them and they can grow quite large. And now for some reason I'm regretting not putting down a piece of newspaper, because this is going to go everywhere. Philodendrons love to be in soil that's like slightly free draining, so they aren't waterlogged because of the way that they grow in nature. Their roots generally are quite fleshy and they do store a lot of moisture. Now the light requirements for these would be quite different. The Squamiferum, which is this one, I would give indirect light. I wouldn't give this direct sunlight because it is a bit of an understory plant. So it would start off in the shade and basically like grow through the trees into the light. So it won't be exposed to direct sun that much. Let's see what we have here. Shake it down, press it down a bit. Yeah, that seems to be secure in the pot. I'm going to have to resake this at some point. That sake is not going to work. That was the sake it had when it came here. Okay, so that's out of the way, and always remember to put in your little label. Yeah, so this one, the Goeldii, which was recently reclassified as something else. It's a new plant on me. I absolutely love it. because the leaves are like hands, so they look like fingers. It does remind me a bit of the Philodendron Selenum, is the one with like the big leaves that can grow in full sunlight. And I'm sure this plant would, as it matures, be able to grow in full sunlight and outside. Yeah, so it's a beautiful plant. And then of course, lastly, the Monstera. Now I've had a love affair with Monstera since I was a child because my mother had one, a beautiful specimen in our living room, and I always remember the beautiful leaves. Now I do have a couple of them in my garden, which I grew from cuttings, and like the biggest difference between a Monstera that you grow outside and one that you grow inside is of course the leaves, because the leaves on the plants outside can really enlarge and look like this, right? And they have beautiful cuts in them and the holes, which I actually, which I can remember seeing somewhere that it's actually to stop them getting damaged by the wind. So it's almost like little air holes. So when the wind like blows, it goes straight through the leaves. It's really a low maintenance houseplant. It's something anyone can grow literally anywhere. Of course, like the more light you give it, but not direct sunlight, like the bigger your leaves will become and the more deep that the cuts will become as it grows. In more medium light and indoors, it's not as a big grower as it is outside. Because the Monstera outside plant is somewhere where it can easily climb, can really take off. Yeah, so that's why like the ones in my garden, I'll be interested to see the comparison as to how quickly they progressed compared to like the one inside. And in all fairness, this one is only really a placeholder until I can get my hands on the variegated one. And then this one will probably also go outside into the garden. Now the other thing I want to talk about, of course, with these leaves would be keeping them clean. You can see that this one is a bit dusty, but I'm going to put this plant under the shower now, so you can like it settle into the pot and so on. But I would clean these leaves really monthly, because you really, with plants like these, you really want to show off these leaves to like the best of their abilities, and you want them to be shiny. I would stay away from any leaf shines, because they can just clog up your leaves. It's like an oil basically that like clogs up like the pores of your skin. So I would actually just use normal tap water or even milk that would shine up the leaves and keep them nice and humid. So I fertilize my philodendrons with an organic fertilizer, so either a kelp mix or I use a tea made from worm castings, which is absolutely amazing, because if you've ever used worm castings on your plants, you would know this. That is one of the best fertilizers I've ever come across. You can also use like the castings as a top dress fertilizer, which would be a slow release, a natural fertilizer for your plants. Like especially with big plants, because you can imagine at some point, right, that this plant is going to become too big to like keep on potting on. So then every 6 months or so, you would just apply the top dress to the top of the pot, and that will seep into the soil as you apply water. So also with this one, I can see, because just knock anything off there at the bottom, there's a root coming out. So this plant is going to need a repot, but I can't do it now. Well, that's all for today. If you like this video, please subscribe and like and leave a comment.